Fishing buddies, fisher friends, fisher people. Welcome to an unorthodox live stream. My name is Mark, known here on YouTube and other social media platforms as EatnLunch. If this is your first time watching one of my videos or hanging out on a live stream, I think you're in for a treat tonight. I got to tell you, unusually for me, I happen to be in New Orleans. Actually, I'm from Iowa. If you're one of my subscribers, you already know that. I live in Iowa, but I come down to New Orleans here about almost once a month. I've been doing it for a long time, but I've never actually gone fishing down here in New Orleans. I've certainly never done any urban fishing in New Orleans, and definitely not at night. And certainly never while attempting a live stream. So this could only go wrong, one out of 100 different ways, probably. I was kind of careful. I didn't want to lug around a whole bunch of fishing gear or whatever, so I just brought one of my little ice rods, tacked into my, put into my, what am I trying to say? Suitcase, the thing you travel with clothes and your belongings. That's what I put it in, my suitcase. So like I was saying, I've never really done any urban fishing really in general. Certainly not in this town. It doesn't have the greatest reputation as far as safety after dark, and it is dark. As you can see, I'm actually still in my hotel room, but the spot that I'm going to go to is really, really, really close. I mean, really close. And so I'm hoping that this live stream will work out and continue to work throughout the course of this. So I want to see here if I've got the chat. Oh, we got SK. We got SK online. SK, are you going for crappie? SK, well, I'm going for whatever. I'll go ahead and type that in. Honestly, I don't know. It's really the Mississippi in New Orleans. It's on the Mississippi. It goes into the Gulf, but I wouldn't even really know how to classify the. I wouldn't really even know how to classify the body of water that I'm going to fish. So if any of you guys are new or just joining, I see a number of people jumping in here, so that's great. Welcome everybody. Hello everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to my channel in general. This is probably a stupid idea, and it's probably the kind of nonsense you can expect from my channel. So I guess without further ado, let's get ready. Let me put on my lucky hat, my lucky fishing hat, my mud bum hat. If you guys aren't familiar with the mud bums, they're based in, I guess you'd call it Urbandale, Iowa, but they make bank poles, diddy poles, catfishing rods, all kind of catfish and big catfish. I'm talking about flathead, like I like to chase a lot. They actually started that company. They're local to Des Moines, which is where I'm from. I live about an hour away from their shop. And surprisingly enough, I happened to see one of the guys from Mud Bums on one of my flights this morning when I was flying down to New Orleans. But I didn't see him in time to actually be able to chat with him or anything. Wilkins is saying, can barely hear, which is unfortunate. The last one edited was hilarious. Well, Wilkins Outdoor Adventures, I make no promises. I make no promises. All I can do is all I can do. Sorry you can't hear. I don't think there's any way for me to turn up my microphone or anything. If there is, I would certainly try to do it. But without further ado, like I said, hopefully the stream will hang in there with me as I make my way to the fishing spot. Once again, for those of you just joining me, all I actually have with me is my little tiny ice rod, because it would fit easily into my suitcase. So let's go ahead. Fishing at night in New Orleans downtown. Let's do this. All right. So I mean, like I told you guys, the spot that I'm going is really, really close. It's a small body of water, and I'm kind of out of my element here because, you know, I'm really not used to fishing bodies of water this small, and it's the water clarity is just unlike anything I've ever dealt with before. So I think my presentation is going to be have to really be on point here. I'm gonna have to be super natural or ultra natural in my presentation because this water, I mean, if you can see this, it's so clear. It's so clear. I've never fished anything like this before. And you know, it's in urban situations like this, a lot of times the quarters are kind of cramped. So I guess it's a good thing I just brought my little ice rod here. And what I've got, you see I've got this little tungsten teardrop sort of shaped jig with that little gulp brand. What do they call them? Little gulp maggots, or, you know, kind of like a wax worm, but it's the gulp live. So here we go. First cast. Not really cast. I'm just going to be vertically jigging. This is going to be really just vertical jigging because, you know, the water is so small here. Matter of fact, I'm really in a cramped situation here. So here we go. Like I said, this water is just so clear. I'm not really used to fishing anything this clear at all. It's actually, this is really shallow. This is really shallow water. I wish I could give you guys a better view. I'm trying just kind of change up my jigging techniques here. You know, honestly, I was kind of worried at first, guys, about what it would be fishing in New Orleans at night. So far, I haven't seen anybody, haven't seen a soul around. I guess, you know, someone could come jumping out of somewhere or something, but you know, honestly, I got to tell you, so far, no bites or action. I think I'll just kind of raise this up. You can see I've got spring bobber here for those real light bites that you're trying to detect, and this is a really good thing. This is only 2-pound test line, and really in a body of water this small, I'm not sure what to expect, but probably nothing too large. So it's 2-pound test line, and I'm you know, I can jig with it, and you can really see even the lightest of bites on that spring bobber. Hopefully, can you guys see that? There's a little sort of a bite indicator, some guys call it. Let's see here. Dead sticking. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Brett Dawkins says all day IPA. Man, I don't have any. They don't have any. I haven't seen any of that around here. But a good New Orleans beer, Brett Dawkins, is a Beta Amber. If you're familiar with that one, I did have one of those with dinner. It's one of my go-tos. I always try and have that. Dead sticking is not a bad idea. I'll do that if jigging doesn't continue to work. Find the structure. Honestly, I'm kind of been all the way around this body of water, and there's not much structure to be found that I can identify. So yeah, I wish I had, you know, some kind of scent or some way to chum the fish in, or some other way to attract some fish into this location. But, you know, all I can think of really is I may have to change spots. I may have to change spots. Luckily, there is another small body of water. It's a little bit deeper, I think, but it's really close. It's, you know, roughly the same size in terms of surface area. Let's see here. I'm not getting any bites over here. So let's see. Let me try this other spot. And go ahead. Jig down there. You know, I've never, like I said before, I've never really done much urban fishing, and it's really not what I expected. So far, no bites. And honestly, I haven't been trying for very long, and I am inexperienced at urban fishing, and I certainly, I've never fished in, down here in Louisiana or in New Orleans at all. This is definitely my first time fishing on this body of water. Again, pretty clear. Strangely, this body of water though is a little bit not quite as clear as what I was just fishing. Still not a lot of bites. Also very shallow. I mean, I can feel my jig touching bottom. We're talking shallow. We're talking real shallow. Not sure what to try. I kind of wish I would have packed a bigger jig selection or something. Maybe they're just not liking my presentation. I'm not sure. A lot of you guys who actually do subscribe to my channel, I've been talking about ice fishing. Excuse me. I've been talking about ice fishing a lot. That's unfortunately back home in Iowa. There's it's been alternating between warm winds and warm days, and then cold nights. So the ice hasn't been safe, and I'm waiting on safe ice so I could do some ice fishing, which is why I had my ice rod sort of ready to go, and I just thought I'd throw it in my suitcase and take it with me to come down here to New Orleans and do some fishing, just because it's the right size, it fit right in my suitcase. Once again, I forgot the word for the thing you put your stuff in when you travel. Suitcase. But honestly, I've really just been wanting to ice fish so bad, and it feels like forever since I've really been fishing, and this just isn't working. I wish there were some ice fishing opportunities here in New Orleans, but it's a warm weather state, so it's not really feasible to expect it. Although, yeah, I think there is ice fishing available in New Orleans. Do a little ice fishing, gang. There we go. Okay. You know what though? I didn't bring my my slushy scooper thing to take the slush out of the hole, the ice hole. So I'm just gonna have to deal with that. We'll go ahead and keep on with the ice fishing here. Now, when you're ice fishing, a lot of times you see my grip changes here when I'm vertical jigging with these little ice rods. And sometimes I'll even just kind of dead stick the rod and just hold that light line in my hand so I can really detect those light bites. So I'll just go ahead and, I got to tell you, a week ago, if you would have told me I'd be ice fishing in New Orleans on an urban fishing night in downtown New Orleans, I would have said you're crazy, But I guess, if you're willing to try, you can, try and create a fishing opportunity just about anywhere you go. You may not catch much or anything, but down here in New Orleans, I mean, you can catch just about anything, especially out of this kind of a body of water. Not sure how long to give it. There's a deeper spot right in the middle of this fishing hole here. So around the edges, it's pretty shallow. As a matter of fact, up towards the front here, it's really shallow. But then right in the middle, there's a much deeper spot. It's probably twice as deep right in the middle. So a lot of times when I'm ice fishing, that's where I'll concentrate, is right in the middle, because the fish will sort of gravitate towards where a lot of times either the temperature or the oxygen content or whatever it is, or the food content, whatever it is, that's that typically is in some of the deeper spots, depending on what time of year, etc. So I'm just going to go ahead and, luckily this body of water is so small that I can pretty easily change spots. There's a kind of a drop off right here, so I can jig that. I can check this spot. I can come up here and jig in the shallows. But I have a feeling that if I'm going to catch anything at all, it's going to be down in that deepest section down here. Unfortunately, though, I got to say, when you're ice fishing, safety is of the utmost importance. And if you happen to be out on the ice in conditions where the ice is weakening or melting, then it's really important to be in a position to get off the ice quickly and safely. And this ice, I'm losing ice fast. The ice is melting real fast. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to keep this up. Yeah, I'm not getting any bites. The ice is melting way too fast. It's just not safe. It's just not safe. So, I love to ice fish. I would continue it all night if I could. But when the ice isn't safe, then it's just time to get off. So I really thought I would have more success. I thought I had a good shot at catching something. I really didn't know what to expect, I guess. Maybe a little more adventure, a little more action. And unfortunately, it's been a bit of a letdown. But, it could be worse. It's my first time urban fishing, really. Really, it's my first time. So it was fun, kind of anticlimactic. I hope you guys aren't let down by the lack of fishing action. I'm certainly no master angler, regardless of what the state of Iowa says. And they say I'm, a master angler 7 times over. Well, let's not dive too deeply into that. So, it was a long trip. Let's see, I'm safely back in my hotel room now. I didn't get mugged or anything like that. So safely back at home and, home for the next few nights. And, it's, I wish that would have gone a little better, to be honest with you. Let's check the chat. Oh, we got a few folks here. I'm not sure what are you guys talking about. Seems like you guys are making fun of me or something. Look, I'm just trying to catch some fish. I may not be an expert urban angler or anything like some of you guys, but I thought I'd take a shot and share my adventure with you guys. Because really what I want to do is with my YouTube channel is just take my passion and share it with like-minded individuals, and I love to fish and I want to share that love of fishing with other people. So I thought, hey, let's go downtown New Orleans, try a couple spots, do a little fishing. Starting to think now it probably wasn't worth the effort of bringing that pole with me. I didn't catch a thing. I didn't even get a bite, to be honest with you. Now, granted, I didn't fish that long, but I did what I could. And really, I've always thought that those times when you go fishing and you don't get a bite, those are the times, I just call that paying dues, because what you're really doing, it's like you're putting money in the bank, and eventually you're going to go on a fishing trip and you're going to get to withdraw all that. That's going to be the time when you go out and slam them. Now, SK, I don't know if he still pays dues, but I know he goes out there and slams them all the time. So he's got, I guess he's got room to make fun of me for this, for not catching anything. But I tried my best, and that's all we can do. Sometimes we get skunked. We all get skunked sometimes, right? Maybe not SK. I know. Bam! He pulls the slabs out left and right. He probably could have pulled a couple of slabs out from where I was fishing tonight. Although it probably wouldn't have been the kind of slabs he was used to. Oh boy. So anyway, probably not quite as long of a fishing adventure as I was hoping for it to be. I was again hoping for a nice catch, something to really draw in some new, some of you new subscribers. A lot of new subscribers have shown up over the last few days. Thanks in large part to a nice shout out that I got this weekend. Actually, two. We got a nice shout out from SK, and then a real nice shout out from Southern Outdoor Fishing on his Sunday subscriber. Sunday subscriber shout out. I may have gotten that in the wrong order. Shout out Sundays for subscribers. Whatever. He gave me a real nice shout out, and I definitely picked up a few subscribers for that. So I thought what I would do, since I wasn't able to get out and actually go out on an ice fishing trip or a regular fishing trip at home, since I was traveling this week, is at least get some kind of content out there so that you new subscribers would be able to see kind of what my channel is all about and some of the monsters that I catch. So in that fact, I'm kind of embarrassed, honestly, about my performance on this trip. But hey, it's all I can do. So I guess with that, there's really not that much else to say. I appreciate you guys showing up. Even though I didn't catch anything, it was still fun. I definitely learned some things. Hopefully you guys learned a trick or two about urban fishing, or at least what not to do when urban fishing. I think it's probably best to focus on larger bodies of water. It might be a good idea to actually leave your hotel room in urban fishing and fish, in a body of water like a stream or a canal or a river or the ocean. Any of those things I think would have been better spots than the sink or the toilet. So chalk that one up in the learning column. I'll probably never make that mistake again. Never say never. Sometimes we repeat mistakes. Sometimes we have to learn lessons more than once. But I think it's safe to say this technique didn't really work out for me. So I'm going to hesitate to go back to this one unless I'm really, really desperate for some fishing action, because it just didn't work out. So sorry you guys didn't get to see any fish caught. But I do thank you all for chatting and joining me tonight, and joining this live stream. Kind of new to the whole live stream thing. Hopefully it worked out. Hopefully you guys got to see everything as I intended or tried. And so yeah, I guess that's all I got. Good night. Again, my name is Mark, EatnLunch. If you are a subscriber, thank you. Give me a big thumbs up if you liked what you saw tonight. If you're not a subscriber, it's hard for me to make a case that you should become one based on this video, but I'm going to go ahead and ask anyway. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Click the little bell. Click that bell so that you don't miss the next time I go fishing for reals. For reals? For real. Legitimate fishing trip. The next time I actually go fishing or have a video, publish a video, do a live stream, whatever, you don't want to miss it. I mean, look, this stuff is gold, right? Sorry. Good night, everyone.